Okay. All right. Let's do. All right, what's up? I'm not sure if I'm live. I'm not sure if you guys hear me or see me. Let me know in the comments. I'm still setting up the Facebook camera too. All right. All right. Okay, so this is Facebook. All right. All right. Let's do this. Okay. All right. All right. Now, last one. What's up, guys? I'll start very shortly. Still got a few little things to do. All right. All right. Live. Okay. Q and A from Q to yeah. All right. So now, how do I switch this camera Flip camera. All right. All right. Something like that. All right. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Can you guys hear me? All right. And can you guys see me? So technically, we should be. Looks like we should be live everywhere on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Let me close the door so nobody laughs at me here. All right, guys. Christian is off today. So welcome to the show. I'm going to be replacing him until next Wednesday. So please drop all the comments in the chat. I'm probably going to be mostly monitoring YouTube chat. So if you want me to see the comments, go on the YouTube. But other than that, I should be able to see everything because I have TikTok right here in front of me, Facebook. So everybody, welcome to Super Trekker Podcast. Today we're gonna be mostly focusing on answering any questions if you guys have, and also, I guess the main topic of the day, we're gonna be trying to break the fake and talk why trucking is not dead, because there is a lot of negativity out there in the comment section all the time. People saying trucking is dead. Back in the day, you used to be able to make money. Right now, it's impossible, and yada yada yada. But however, I've been in trucking probably close to 25 years, and that thing about trucking is being dead is as old for me as trucking itself. I think it was always a thing. It was always a subject for people's complaints. But in general, I do not think it's trucking fault. I think it's actually people fault, because if you're an owner operator, your chances of going out of business within the first, I don't know, like a year or 3 years is pretty significant. Not because there is anything wrong with trucking, because it's just nature of the business. Any business, any new startup is always going to be risky, because most of new businesses are going to go out of business. Let me see. Let me put these on to make sure that people can hear me okay. All right. So the problem is people. It's not the tracking. Tracking is always going to go up and down, and that's going to be always. It's never going to change. So, however, you don't have to be looking at this from very negative perspective. Kind of like, all right, man. Like, hey, what's up, Sam Motors? Crap, you threw me off. Totally forgot what I was gonna say. What is the biggest risk? How about that? Well, the biggest risk is living in your head. For the most part, biggest risk is going to be people giving up. I never seen anyone to start a trucking company and fail uh, because trucking took them out. No, it's always somebody decided to either quit or we decided that it's not for them or whatever else was the case, but it was never that trucking just kind of spit them out. Never a thing. Anybody that I know that started a trucking company and then went under was because we decided, you know what, this is too hard, or we made a lot of mistakes, got a lot of bad coaching, and got lost in the sauce. But I never seen anybody who actually gets into trucking, gives it 100%, not imaginary 100%, but real 100% to fail. Uh, it's not very common, to see something like that to come easy. It's never easy, but it's definitely not the dead end. Trucking is amazing. I think, amazing. Take it with a grain of salt. It fucking sucks. But in comparison to what? In comparison to any other business, any other, like I I used to complain a lot about trucking. Probably still do, but I used to complain a lot about trucking. How, man, like it would be so nice to have something else going on, like maybe coffee shop. Maybe sell cupcakes and do coffee and have more positive customers than trucking. Good morning, David. What's up, man? I know, man. I know. I've heard that a few times, man. But I used to listen to this morning show driving to work when we had an office in Tampa, and we would do mock calls. So basically, we would call somebody. Somebody would lead onto somebody. So let's say one specific phone call that I want to talk about was the the girlfriend set up a fake call by a radio show host to her boyfriend because uh, he was always complaining about how stressful his work is. And like coming from trucking background, I'm like, oh shit, like apparently the guy is making sandwiches and he's complaining about how stressful the job is. And I don't recall right now how exactly did the phone call go, but pretty much that was a setup phone call to where the radio show host called and exposed the guy's pretty much inability to handle stress. We obviously made it very fun, but that was kind of eye-opening moment to me because I used to listen to that show every morning, and then here I'm thinking that trucking is very stressful, and other places we do not have stress and so on. And now this guy is all stressed out making freaking sandwiches and complaining about the stress. So the bottom line is you can find stress anywhere you go. As a matter of fact, most of stress is probably self-inflicted. However, when we sit here in trucking, man, like it feels, sometimes it feels pretty intense. And it's not like you can control a lot. At the end of the day, you really depend on a lot of other people. You depend on people in the trucks, you depend on shippers, receivers, brokers, you depend on everybody. And somehow you have to manage to hold everything together and not fall apart. So I'm pretty sure every place is stressful. I actually have a couple of friends that used to be, we didn't own a trucking company, but we managed the trucking company, and we thought that it's very stressful. So we started a coffee shop and like kind of like chocolate place in Orlando, and then when I talked to them about a year or two into that new business, we were complaining about stress. We were complaining about the issues, problems, and everything else. But when we were on this side, on the side of trucking, the perception of our business was, man, it must be so easy there. You just lock the doors and nothing else is going on, at least at nighttime. Well, that's, I would say, the biggest down thing of trucking is you can close the doors, you can go home, but your trucks are still on the road. That's probably the only biggest problem. Everything else is just like everywhere else. You start depending on people. Somebody wouldn't show up to work. Somebody got in some sort of situation, and now you're in the middle of that. And I don't know. Some problems we can be very silly. However, however, at the end of the day, I never, I really never seen anybody fail at trucking because trucking failed them. But I've seen a lot of people quitting trucking because it's hard or whatever else the case is. All right, all right. So, by the way, guys, if anybody is first time here, please like, share, subscribe. Drop the comments in the comment section. I'm gonna answer all of them. And I'm not a regular host here. I'm just replacing Christian until next Wednesday. So you guys gonna have to deal with me. All right. Let's talk about one of the bigger challenges in owner operator trucking in general. Your truck is a business, so act like it. I think this is one of the biggest problems that people fail to recognize. So people would buy a truck, all of a sudden we just became this big bad businessman, but we still have driver mentality, and now it starts causing problems to your business because one thing is for sure: anybody can start a trucking company. Anybody can become an owner operator. Um, I I have a friend. He used to dispatch for us back in the day. Very smart guy. Can totally do a trucking company. Has probably more than enough experience, and pretty bright individual. And from time to time, we would talk. Most of the time, case by case basis. Whenever he needs to know something or whatnot, or whenever I send him the link to the one of our videos, say check it out. What do you think? But he was dispatching for a long time, at least 10 years before that conversation happened. And then he calls me one day and he's like, man, this is getting old, that dispatching and stuff. I want to start my own trucking company. And I'm like, cool. I think that's a good idea. As a matter of fact, I think you can totally do it. Like if I would have to, uh, pick from the people that they know somebody who would most likely succeed in trucking, he would be on the top of a list. And and he's like, yeah, man, you really think so? I'm like, yeah, you have experience, you have head on the shoulders, so absolutely do that. And he's like, what is that one thing that you think is gonna be is going to be hardest for me, or what do I need to be ready for before I start the trucking company? And I'm like, well, you just gotta be ready to give it everything, not ask for anything in return, at least in the short term, and work for free. And now you're building a trucking company. That's how it works. So and again, I understand because not everybody can do it. Because some people we're going to, people have family, kids, situations, house. This I was fortunate. Like for example, when I started a trucking company, uh, obviously that was a very low budget thing. So I was an owner operator and everything else. It's just me and my wife. So my wife had a job. So pretty much she was able to support my ass for the time being until it took a little bit of time to build things up. but but at the end of the day, just be ready to give it all and don't ask for anything in return, because you will work for free sometimes for months or maybe years at a time. And that was a deal breaker for him. But some people say hard work pays. I say taking risks, that's what pays. uh, in general in life. Cascadia here is asking, do you have load board? Well, we do use load boards to a degree. We do not offer load boards to uh, we do not offer load boards to owner operators, because we do not have in-house load boards. So it's kind of like it is my understanding that you're asking for something like Landstar. We have a sandbox load board to where we upload all the loads into that load board and create this artificial environment for their owner operators to book the loads from that sandbox. But that's not a real load board. As a matter of fact, yesterday we did a video of Christian talking about self-dispatch, about load boards, about carriers that may or may not gonna offer owner operators a load board to use. In my opinion, as of right now, with the current technology, that is a mission impossible. Because if we're gonna let everybody on our fleet right now to start using a general load board like DAT, we're going to be out of business by the end of the day today. Because people are going to do people things. People are going to book freight, cancel, make a lot of mistakes, cause a lot of problems, and on top of that, we're not even going to tell what happened. So it is our responsibility, in front of other people, the owner operators that are, trusting us to do that part of business for them, not to bring chaos in the house. So to get good freight, it requires strong relationships. It requires reputation. So imagine now, and I get it, everybody thinks that we are like the best people and yada yada. However, when when it's time to be responsible, usually nobody raises hand. So imagine, any owner operator that says, "Man, I would do everything by the book. I would never cancel loads." Man, it's only gonna last until first cancellation. And as a carrier, we carry the responsibility to have a clean record of reliable carriers, so our owner operators can actually get top freight. We have plenty of relationships with key brokers that actually have reps assigned to us. So we pretty much, in any major brokerage company, we have a rep that only works with us. So that's the whole position dedicated to Voyager. If we would allow every owner operator to start exploring that load board, that would not last very long. People just burn our people. What's up, LRM? Let me see. I got some sort of people trying to get on this live, but I have no idea who we are. So how about we just gonna play it safe? How about we just not going to bring the people that we do not know, because who knows what's gonna happen, right? So anyway, but any carrier that's giving you a load board, that's usually going to be fly-by-night carrier that gives you an access to like DAT or something like that. And we probably not going to work very long, or what you're going to learn very, very quickly, that most people don't want to work with you. Why? Because there is a chaos attached to that MC number. Any other carrier that actually has the in-house load board, such as Landstar, that's not a real load board. That's not like unlimited access to every customer under the sun. That's not unlimited access to every broker. That's actually a sandbox load board. Something that we control 100%. We know exactly what's going on there. You never talk to nobody outside of Landstar per se. And we call it load board. And I know a lot of owner operators. We're pretty happy with that sandbox. We get to play, and that's how it works. However, in my opinion, that's a very ineffective thing. It gives you a sense of control. You may feel that, man, I'm in control. I'm booking my own freight, but do you even know what you're booking? I think when I at some stage of business, I was still driving a truck. I already done dispatching and everything else in the past. And when I started, the trucking company, for as long as I was driving, I knew for a fact that if I'm gonna start booking my own freight while driving, I'm always going to get a shorter end of a stick. It's never going to be the best load. It's always going to be guessing, hoping, and risking. So every load is going to be almost like playing a lottery. So I think the professionals need to do the things that we do. So if you... It just depends, what is the reason that somebody would want that load board? Is that gonna just make you feel good? Is that gonna make you feel in control? Or it's actually, you think, going to be effective? That would be my follow-up question to that. Because what is the reason? Because there are plenty of probably free load boards that has all kinds of bullshit loads there that you can play with. However, we're not going to be very effective to actually get your truck moving and making money. What's up, Adam? What's up, VD Boshkovich? What's up, just passing through? Hey, what's up, just passing through? So All right, guys, just a quick reminder, if this is the first time you're watching this, we are here to answer all owner operator related questions. Drop them in the comments below, and I will get to it as soon as I can. PG Beats is asking, cash trucks or finance? Man, if you have enough cash to buy a solid truck, maybe maybe I don't know, maybe you can do something better than trucking, realistically. But if you're talking as an owner operator, cash truck or finance, I would say always finance, because cash is king. If you have cash, you're moving forward. Like, let me give you an example. Um, Not too long ago, probably 2 months or so, maybe three, we brought on this guy, an owner operator that bought a truck, $12,000 cash. And when I saw this truck, and when I learned how much the guy paid for it, I was like, you don't wanna talk it down to anybody. You always wanna stay positive. You wanna kind of motivate people to stay in business and do well for themselves. So when I saw the truck was like really, really rough looking, really beat up truck. So he he spent $12,000 for it, and pretty much that was his life savings and everything else. And I'm like, man, why did you do that? He's like, man, that's all I had. I don't want to have no payment. I'm like, okay, so now you have no savings. You gave it all. You have a pretty beat up truck. It's road legal, but only for the moment. Any breakdowns? Do you have any plans for that? The guy was like, "No, man. I need this truck not to break down." I'm like, "Okay, that risk is pretty high, right?" So now he goes out. The On the first week, he breaks down once or twice. The second breakdown is much bigger than the first one. So he makes it back to Florida, and now he cannot continue running until he fixes the truck, and he has no money to fix it. Now, and then we met again, and we have this conversation, and I told him already before, look, man, you have $12,000. If you would go to anybody like LRM, Lone Mountain, pretty much anybody for that matter, you can probably get the truck, put the down payment, lease it on to the carrier. Okay. Lease it on to the carrier, and still have, let's say, $12,000. I know at Lone Mountain you can get a truck probably with $5,000-$6,000 out the door. So that would leave you another $6,000 in your pocket, because you can get plates, fuel card, and everything else from the carrier. And now you're running with a much better truck. Yes, it does have payment, but it's a hell of a lot better truck. It's actually the truck that you can make money with in the long term. And you're still sitting on $6,000 put to the side for a bad day. His outcome would have been probably very, very, very different than dropping everything he has into this rust bucket. Man, the freaking people can just take no for an answer. All right, so you're dropping everything you have in that rest bucket, so this is your cash deal. So unless you're so rich that you can drop, a lot of money, I would never buy a truck for $12,000. the $12,000 truck will not save you. If you have a plan saying like, man, I'm gonna buy a truck for $12,000, then I'm gonna start making money, then I may need to do a overhaul, the overhaul of transmission, like rebuild and everything else. I'll do that with time, and I'm gonna have this old school truck that everything is fixed on it, and it's a cash truck. That's just being slightly delusional, because you're not you're not gonna make a engine overhaul for $10,000. Man, the fuck is this? You're not gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to rebuild the engine for $10,000. That's never gonna happen. You're realistically probably 24,000 and up. So if you're buying a truck for $12,000, all in, are you ever make $24,000 to ever do that overhaul? So I think people just very, very uninformed. So bottom line is this: keep the cash. Don't worry about the payment. In this industry, payment is just part of business. I would rather have a very, very solid truck with a predictable standard payment, and obviously even the good trucks from time to time gonna break down, and you need to be ready for it. But the only way you're gonna be ready for it is if you have cash in the pocket. uh, and that's it. Just finance the truck, keep all the cash that you can keep, and you're gonna need it anyway. There is no way that the truck is never gonna break down. So let me wrap this up. If you're that rich that you can buy, $80,000, $60,000 to $80,000 truck, cash, and still have plenty of cash left, good for you, man. You can do that. If trucking is your thing, do that. But if, let's say, most people, we have what, like $10,000, $20,000, maybe a credit card on the side. Now your options are a hell of a lot better to actually have to put a down payment for a truck, get the best truck that you can afford. And we're not talking about no freaking chromed up long nose speed with a freaking swan on the nose. No, none of that shit. Like, those trucks, we look cute, but man, we're not a good trucks to have. And keep the cash. Keep the cash, because you're gonna need it for operations and everything else, and you will be better off having predictable payment with plenty of cash in the pocket and a good truck than putting everything into the rest bucket and hoping that it's gonna be okay. But then it's not gonna be okay. I can promise you that. All right, I got some comments here that I missed. Let me see. All right, and yeah, David still complains about trucking, and yet he's still here. Very, very well done, man. keep pushing. I know sometimes it's tough out there. Chad, we all know there are hate reviews for trucking companies, but how do we figure out if we are worth working for? Man, that's I have some conflict of interest here, so take it with a grain of salt. This is trucking is very negative industry. If you would go and just pick up any trucking company, of your choice, and go over reviews. Most of the reviews are going to be very, very, very negative. Man, for us to get good reviews, I had to go out of my way and ask some of the old timers, hey guys, can you drop me a review? I don't need no fake review. I need something real, something, talking about your experience here and so on. Most normal people, we don't go around dropping good reviews. Most normal people expect good service, and that's normal. Like this is what business is supposed to provide, right? And that's expected. There is no expectation. You're not gonna get a medal for doing your job as a business, right? If you're here in business to provide the service for owner operator, that's your job. So shut the fuck up and do that and be happy about it. Be happy that we chose you, not somebody else. And that's an expectation. However, all the negative reviews, and I can just use, let me see. Let me see if I can pull up our reviews real quick. As a matter of fact, that's about to get fun. Really, really fucking fun. Yo, just like anybody watching, don't be going on and just leaving fucking fake bullshit reviews, man. Do me a favor. If you're about to leave a review, ideally keep it real, keep it positive, okay? Um, all right, let's go to our reviews. Reviews. Boom. Okay. Now I'm not even gonna go to good reviews. Let's go to 1-star reviews. Okay, 1-star review. The driver of truck 703 had his face in his cell phone and his cell phone in hand at about shoulder height, the eyes completely off the road in the middle lane, traveling almost 10 miles per hour below speed limit. This review is at least somewhat solid because it gives the time, the location, and everything else. Here's a couple of problems. We do not have a truck that starts with 703. All of our trucks have 4-digit numbers. That's 1-star review for you right there. All right, let's carry on. By the way, guys, I don't want to say we're a bad company or something. I'm just looking at at 1-star reviews. So the individual here says, we will steal 25% of your fuel surcharge when we don't buy the fuel or pay highway taxes. We will steal 25% of tracking when we don't pay any of your phone bill. We will steal your escrow, but I bet we don't pay tax on it. If you want more info on this company, look me up on Facebook and and a lot of deadhead miles. Owner operators beware. Okay. So here's a 1-star review. We haven't installed anything from this guy. As a matter of fact, I recognize the name, so that dude is real. But if we stealing his shit, so we have nothing else better to do than to start a multi-million-dollar business, put our faces for a whole world to see, and steal 25% of what? So basically, this is what this guy is saying. Let me unwrap it. Because of our split, he feels so strongly about the split, which again is not a surprise. Nobody dragged his ass here. We run a very, very transparent trucking company. Super transparent. And we're very proud of that. So our split is made in a way so we do not have to have any bullshit fees, any nickeling and diming. Everything is set up to be extremely transparent so you can look at your settlement and it's as clear as it can get. Our contract is probably the shortest contract I've seen in this industry. So now this guy comes in, joins the company. Nobody forces him to do it. He jumps in. He gets all the information about the fees, about the split, about everything else. And then whatever happened to him, all of a sudden it's a theft. How's that even real? But that gets better, because let me find you something else. All right. Okay, so now this guy here is complaining about 15 days to see your first check, which is inaccurate. He's pissed off about having to pay $90 for a drug test to onboard. By the way, that is refunded of your first settlement, because the reason we do not pay upfront for your drug test is because a lot of people, we just go around, we kind of apply to the companies left and right. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what's going on in the background. And then we go for drug tests and everything else, and we would never start. We just go we go around, always calling, always shopping, always participating in orientations, just to never start. So we made this rule that if you onboarding, you will pay for a drug test, because we're not wasting money on somebody who's not yet proven to be serious. And then we will refund your drug test on your first settlement in full. No gimmicks. And now I'm pretty sure this is most likely the guy that jumped on the company, went through the drug test. Obviously, he had to pay for it. He never completed the process. He never followed through. He never probably did the load for us. And now he feels that we owe him money for his drug test. No, bro, if you're running around being clueless, if you don't know what you're doing, I'm not here to pay for your freaking drug test. I mean, you want to waste money? If you want to be drug testing your ass 20 times a month for all kinds of different companies, be my guest, my man. Be my freaking guest. I'm not paying for it. However, anybody serious, you're going to obviously pay for your drug test, pre-employment, and it will be refunded on your first settlement. So here we go. That's your negative review. Again. Okay. All right. That's freaking personal. Do not drive for this company. We will charge you. A John, Sonny, Agatha are liars. We will hold back a week and then charge you for a damage done to the trailer from the drunk driver striking it. Okay, so pretty much this individual, it is my understanding, probably received brand new trailer, or very, very good trailer. We do not have anything older than, probably at this point, nothing older than 4 years old in the company. So he received the trailer. He goes out to work as an owner-operator. Everything is normal, right? He knows that he is responsible for any incidents, accidents, and everything else. So apparently somebody hits the trailer. Somebody hits the trailer. He doesn't know who, but somehow he decides it's a drunk driver. Because if there is the other party, if there is a police report and everything else, we're not gonna be messing with you. We're gonna be messing with the other party's insurance, and that's it. So now you bring in the trailer with physical damage, like smashed somewhere, right? And now you're telling us that it's not your fault, and because you're telling us it's not your fault, somehow the insurance deductible no longer applies to you. How does that work? If you rent a car and you bring it without a freaking passenger door, what do you think is going to happen? And you cannot say, man, this drunk driver just freaking, when I was parked at the red light, he fucking jumped out of his car, popped my passenger door open, ripped it off, threw it in his pickup truck, and drove away. It's not my fault. Okay, I understand. Sounds a little iffy. However, man, I wasn't there. So where's the police report? What is everything? So just because you damaged the trailer and you are not happy because we held you accountable for it, now all of a sudden, John, Sunny, Agatha are liars and we're freaking stealing from you. Anybody who's been in trucking, you guys freaking know. If you damage the equipment, you either going to be responsible for a repair or the insurance deductible, period. That's just part of business. As a matter of fact, you're not even a driver, bro. You're an owner operator. And we are not a Salvation Army. We are here to do good business with professional people. And not here, like, you guys can't even believe. In the last 2 months, we have 2 trailers smashed into the drive-thrus at fast food restaurants. You gotta be one special motherfucker to find yourself in a drive-thru at McDonald's with semi-truck. Just saying. Bad reviews. All right. Let me guys know if you want me to continue. Because I probably have some more. Oh, that's another one. That's a good one because I actually was asked about it by an owner operator who was looking to onboard with us. So, drivers, you are being informed that you lease on with them and you give them the right to deduct any time money from your bank. We will screw you at every chance. You have been warned. Do not lease on with them. Man, I don't even know what to say. First of all, I do not even think that form exists. Second of all, there is a way for us, let's say, to pull the money back. Let's say if the accounting makes a mistake, and let's say we paid you a wrong amount of money or anything else, then we can request a chargeback, and that's a process. There is no such thing as you signing on with a carrier. Now we can drag any kind of money from your bank account. No, it's called just if we, let's say, by mistake paid you twice for the same thing. It's not what you're signing or not signing. We're going back to our same bank account and we are saying we want to reverse this transaction because it's a dual transaction. So most likely something like that happened, then the dude saw more money than he should have gotten, and then the difference was pulled. And now he is running around the world saying that, oh, this company is just, like, imagine what if the carrier would just pull the money from your bank account out of the blue. I'm pretty sure that's freaking criminal. No, I'm pretty sure that's criminal. Especially here in Polk County with freaking Sheriff Grady Judd. Man, my ass would be in a fucking alligator alley before the fucking end of the day. All right, what's next? All right, here we go. That's another bad review. I'd first like to start off with their top reviews being all from current employees. That's the guy that knows his shit. Moving past that, my wife and I were driving with our two young children to Atlanta, and during our drive in the pouring rain comes a huge semi driving like a bat out of the hill. He almost caused several accidents, including us, by the amount of spray he was producing, going at least in 80 miles per hour in pouring rain, pouring in all caps. His truck had ID 1916. Okay, that's our number, old number obviously, but that's our number. This driver should be in jail, and his company needs to do a better job hiring. Okay, that's 1 star for a carrier. Let me know, guys. Do you think it's fair? All right, now another motorist here. Again, we're leaving like 1 star reviews for the company that we have nothing to do with. I was driving home from work today, and their truck cut me off. Almost took the front end of my new car off. I was in the slow lane. They also were probably pretty fucking slow. It went through a rock at my windshield, messing it up. I spoke with a man in a safety with trailer number of truck, told me he would look into it and call me right back. He took all my info, no call back. Thanks, but with drivers like that, we should not be on the road. We will end up hurting or killing somebody. Well, bro, like following the safe distance, keeping the safe distance is important. If you're saying, like that stone got picked by our tire, like, was there any more cars there? Did that stone freaking was just passed on to you by our truck? Maybe it was it ended up on the highway by your cousin driving a mile ahead. I don't know. It is not other motorists' responsibility to keep a safe distance for your ass. You have to keep your own distance. The debris on the highways will happen. I'm pretty sure, like, I got hit multiple times with some little bitter piece, into my windshield. Sometimes it would crack, sometimes it would not. It always feels fucking less than ideal. But at the end of the day, man, it's life. It's trucking. It's driving on the highway. That's what's up, man. So and here we go. So now, can you make a decision? Let's say, is the company that we reading reviews of, is that a good company or a bad company? What do you guys think? Let me know. And again, like, is that a good company for owner operator or bad company? All right. Okay, that's another freaking clown. I actually know exactly who that is. He signed up, didn't even finish 1 week, and disappear into the nothingness. Then he comes back later, about a year in or so, and says, "Be careful, these guys. We have a lot of hidden fees and rules we don't tell you about in the beginning. Number one, BS and BS. First of all, anything in regards to money, first of all, it's the shortest contract in the industry. Second of all, anything talking about money is actually being highlighted with one of these things as we going over contract. So nothing is hidden, guaranteed. And if you're not listening, and now it's somehow my fault, I don't know. But no, we do not have a lot of hidden fees. As a matter of fact, we do not have any hidden fees. We are very, very extremely proud of our most transparent contract that I'm aware of. All right, what else we got? All right, let me see if we have anything else here. Da, 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 da. Okay, so hate reviews we just addressed. Guys, if you're getting a good service from your current company, go out there and leave them a good review, because those shitty people going around leaving bad reviews, and as a matter of fact, sometimes I would click on somebody who drops like 1 star for no good reason, and you can go on their profile and see their other reviews, and for the most part it's all 1 stars. People just going around the world talking shit about everybody out there. So that's just not cool. um all right. All right. Repair old truck or invest in a newer one. There is a limit. I would say you need to have a. If you cannot trust your truck to take a load right now from Lakeland to Seattle, you need another truck, because that truck is not good enough. Maybe it's good enough if you're trying to retire in a month or two, but if you're an owner operator, if you're running trucking business, if you do not trust your truck to pick up a load and deliver a load anywhere in continental US, you need a better truck, or you playing trucking. You're not in trucking business. All right. PG Beat says, yes, that does make a lot of sense. All right. I'm very glad about it. Glad it helped. Do you guys share the rate confirmation with owner operators? 100%. By the way, guys, one thing that nobody wants to talk about, as a matter of fact, all the drivers are talking about it, but the industry is kind of very awkwardly silent about it. When you're hiring a dispatcher, a lot of dispatchers that are exposed to spot market, we go around and when we're talking about the salary or whatnot, it's very common for a dispatcher to ask like, how much do you pay from the cut rates? I'm usually what? Excuse me. So that's very common apparently in the industry. That's bullshit. So we dispatch our owner operators by not just sending you the rate confirmation, because I can go on ChatGPT right now and tell them, hey, see this rate confirmation that I uploaded that pays $3,000 for a load? Can you make it? Can you make it 2,500? 5 seconds later, I have it. What we do, we actually forward. The way we dispatch owner operator is by forwarding the original email to the owner operator that includes the rate confirmation and all the communication with the other party. So you get the original. Plus, it is illegal to cut rates. It is illegal to do all these other shenanigans. And as a matter of fact, if you're an owner operator and you're getting paid commission, a split, legally, you can audit that carrier. A shitty carrier is going to make it very, very difficult for you, but you can audit them. And if we fucked you over, you can sue them for all the money that does not match the reality. Because if we have an agreement that it's, let's say, at Voyager 25-75 split, that's not just some bullshit agreement. That's an actual contract, enforceable contract. So that's not a joke. I know industry sometimes, has a crazy spin, but that's super illegal. It's not just like bad people doing bad things. No, that's super illegal. You can actually sue somebody out of their existence for shit like that, because your contract says the split, and that's what this is how you guys conduct business. So we do not mess around with that, because on top of that, look, we just went over some shitty reviews, right? Now let me tell you something. Imagine if the carrier cuts the rates, and this is probably because a lot of carriers, we have people, oh, this carrier is chopping rates, that carrier is chopping rates. People probably know because it takes one pissed off dispatcher, just one pissed off dispatcher to be jaded or something, and all that criminal conspiracy is going to be out in the open public. Uh, do you think it's a good idea to spend a lifetime building business so you can steal $200 and lose everything that you ever worked for, and put your freaking face in front of a camera every every day? I don't know. I don't think that's not a good business, but thanks for the question. We are super transparent. Give us a call, 863-342-5171, and we will hook you up. The best trucking company east of Mississippi. All right. Again, 863-342-5171. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, PG Beat says, I'm from Tampa, looking to get a truck. May give you all a go. Yeah, cool. Just make sure you don't drop all your life savings on some beat up truck. Don't be sweating over a payment, man. Get the best truck that you can get with dropping the least amount of money, because you need that cash for a bad day. All right. Probably didn't even drive much. Yeah, that's probably somebody is responding to one of my negative review reads. At least he was not speeding. Yeah, I hope so. All right, what else we got here? All right, guys. So let me see. I'm already a couple of minutes over. So, guys, if you're looking for the best trucking company in continental US, I'm just gonna keep fucking pushing that until we fall off the cliff. The best trucking company in the US, continental US for now. Give us a call, 863-342-5171. Go ahead and drop a positive review to the carrier which you currently signed up with. And if we're not cutting it, give us a call. We will take care of you. All right, guys, be safe out there. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We're gonna start at 9. Hopefully, it's gonna go a little smoother than today, because this is my first time doing this. Well, not first time doing this, but like first time doing this specific morning segment. Now I kind of know a little bit what to expect. I really appreciate all the questions and comments and in the chat. That really helped to push through. And my name is Mike. I'm a Voyager Nation, aka Super Trucker Podcast. Any other questions? We have people standing by. Give us a call, 863-342-5171. We're located right here in Mulberry, Florida, future trucking capital of the world. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Okay, how do I stop this now? End stream. Boom. End. Finish.